Hello designers and everybody who wants to become one. It seems that a lot of you don't understand how to use Figma variants, so I decided to make a video to explain it once and for all. I hope you will find this tutorial helpful, because once you master variants, then you can start seriously learning design systems, and also your general workflow in Figma improves a lot. Let's start with checking this properties section and all the options it offers. Variants allow you to group similar components into a single container, like this button. It can be negative, primary, outline, and so on. Boolean is true or false. In simple terms, you hide or show an element and you hook it to a layer property. If you have nested component, then you can hook an instance swap, and as a result you get a drop-down with other components on your right panel. Text is literally an input field on your right panel where you can write text, and it updates a text layer in your design. Learning by doing is the best way to learn, so we're gonna actually try all these features right now. First and foremost, you need to make a component, and now I selected it. I have button over here, and as you can see on the right side we have something called properties. And if you press on this plus, you have these four options that we just explained. So first let's make a variant, because I want to have a button that is just an outline. Now something happened with our button component. It got this container with dashed line. This means that this component actually has subcomponents, aka variants. So let's go ahead and press plus. It's gonna replicate original one, so now we can tweak designs. Now that we're happy with design, let's click again on a button component, and we see this property one line over here. Well, this is editable, so we can write something meaningful to us. I will write style because what I changed now is essentially a style of a button. Now if we drill down to each subcomponent, we can adjust their names. This is fine. Default is good name for this one, but then I don't want this one to be called variant 2. Outline is good. Now how to test this? I'm gonna create an instance. And over here I have style and then a little drop down, and I can switch between outline and default. You can add as many variants as you want, but I would recommend keeping it in a reasonable amount, like 5 to 10 tops. Next we want to explore Boolean. Boolean is great if you want to show or hide a layer. It can be anything. I want to show or hide an icon, so I'm gonna add Boolean. And I'm gonna name it has icon. You see we have this exclamation point over here. It says not used within a component. We actually need to attach this property to a layer that we want to control. Now I will select this icon and I will find my layer section and press this icon over here. And I will choose has icon. If it looks like this, it means it is working, so we will test it real quick. As you can see, it actually works. We need to do the same with every variant we have over here, so I'm gonna find layer on this outline variant and hook it with this one. And if we check our instance, it indeed works. Let's try with outline variant. Works again. Now let's try to do instance swap. It's great for icons, but I will show you how I do it. Let's call this icon, and then we need to pick a component essentially. I will go to icons and find something. Again, we didn't hook it to an actual layer, so I will choose my icon, and this row over here has again this icon for attaching properties. We will choose icon. If it's purple like this, that means it works. And we will do the same for this other variant. There you go. Now what you get when you click on an instance, you get this new row called icon, and over here you can choose some other icon like this. Now that's one way of switching icons, but how I do it, because I think it's faster, I just drag the icon from my library. I press Command and Option, and then when I see purple outline, I just release it and icon is changed. Now let's click on button again, and the last one is text. Let's call it title. Default value can be write something. Again, we didn't hook it, so it's complaining, so we're gonna click on the layer. Content section is for text. We will hook text. Let's do the same with the other variant. Excellent. Now let's clean up this a little bit. Now we have this input field where we can change button's title. There is another way you can do that. If you press T, you can also change text like this. Another thing worth mentioning is that you can make these properties by selecting a layer itself. For example, I will make text hideable, so sometimes you have these buttons with only an icon. So let's add this option as well. So I want to hide texts on button, and I will find my layer, and this button offers me to create a new property, and I will write here has text. Default true, that's fine, create property. It's immediately hooked if you start doing these properties from actual layer you want to control. And another for second variant, and I can just hook this has text. And now I can show and hide text as I please, and as you can see, if you have text property hooked to some text layer, Figma is smart enough to hide it, because if we don't have text, then there is no point of editing text, right? As you can see, variants and properties are not that difficult. It requires a little bit of practice, but once you get it, then it's very, very trivial. Thanks for joining in this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, hit thumbs up, consider subscribing. It really means a lot to me. And also, if you like podcasts, please check my podcast Design Party. And if you like courses, I finally released my first course, Figma for Beginners. You can find link to it in description. Thank you so much, happy designing, and čauski!